followed the pod account too.
Back home media.
Bring them out, bring them out. 3, 2, bring them out, bring them out. You're out.
Hey, we are back, everybody. Welcome to Easy Out Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah. With me, as always, is Cape, and joining us again tonight, our other co-host, Meaghan. How are you guys doing tonight?
Yee.
It's Meaghan's birthday.
Happy birthday, girl.
We are going to have a fun time tonight. We have a very special guest joining us here shortly. Michael Kelly is going to be on with us. We're going to have a good time talking about Cy Young candidates, hopefuls, MVP candidates, and hopefuls. We're going to talk about the postseason bubble. We're going to talk about the teams that have already clinched. We've got some funny stories from around baseball. Meaghan, I can't hear you.
I said Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, yep. There you go. There's a possibility. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But we have all kinds of fun stuff to cover tonight. We got the Braves getting monsooned on over here in Atlanta right now. I've got that game up on my screen. Lots of other fun stuff happening tonight. Cape, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been straight, I guess. I worked like 14 hours today, so that was fucking cool. Got to make that money. It's that time of year. You know, our guests could start our listeners, whatever they are, watchers, viewers, listeners. They should start playing a game called Guess Where Cape's At, because I'm going to be out of town for like the next 3 months.
It's going to be a very interesting time trying to figure out where you're at.
Yeah, lots of podcasts from hotel rooms coming up the next few months.
That's okay. It's all good. We'll make it work. It'll be fun. Meaghan, how's your week been?
It's been okay. You know, Dodgers clinched the division series for the eighth year in a row.
So we've got the NL West locked down. We've got the NL East locked down.
Yeah, we won our 20th division championship this year. I think that's like the most in baseball like ever. So that's cool.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure is. Yeah, good times. It's been a good week.
Beer.
I'm not drinking anything tonight. I would like to be. As many of you may have seen on my Twitter, if you follow me, we are currently quarantined because my 4-year-old was directly exposed to COVID. So we are homeschooling. Yay. Making Play-Doh at 8:30 in the morning before I can even have my coffee. That did not go well. Just for anybody that's wondering. I mean, the Play-Doh thing went good, but it didn't end up so well. There's Play-Doh in my carpet everywhere now. Real good time. So that's where I'm at, and I could really use a beer. I don't have one, but I could definitely use one.
Hey, I'll drink some. I'll drink some for you, Sarah. I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Corey, I just noticed our new layout. This shit looks awesome.
I love it. I like our new background.
I do too.
Everything looks good. You can see all the social media channels that we are available on right there. Corey Lester says, "Hey fam." Inky says, "Happy birthday, Megs." Matt Sondag says he's going to call it Astros Dodgers round 2, no cheating. I don't think that's happening, Matt.
What did he say?
He said Astros Dodgers for the World Series, no cheating. I don't think
aren't the Astros like worried they're not even going to make the fucking postseason right now?
If the Angels can beat the Dodgers in this series and the Rangers have to win the series that they're in with the Astros right now, then the Astros will be out.
Astros will be in the postseason.
It's a very, very, very touchy situation right now. So we'll see what happens. There's still a lot of really close too close to call situations happening right now. Before we really get into everything, Wendy says hi. Ronald and Four says the Dodgers are losing to us in the NLCS. Whew, that's going to be a fun week. If that happens, that's going to be a real fun time on this show. Before we get way into everything, I do want to remind you guys, as you can see on our new background, we are brought to you by Back Home Media. We're a Fat Kid production. One thing we're going to be doing, we have a lot of people that watch us on Facebook. We just want to let you guys know that we're going to start moving away from using Facebook. There's just not enough upside to it anymore. We do appreciate everybody that's watching us on there. And we want to tell you guys, we're going to be streaming still. You can watch us through Twitter and Periscope. You can also watch us on Twitch. You can also watch us on YouTube. So we are going to encourage everybody, go follow us over on Twitch. That's by far the best platform for this. We're having a great time over there, doing a lot of playing around with it, having some fun. We've had some really cool people join us there. So make sure moving forward that you're kind of starting to check out what's happening over on the Twitch side, as here in the not super near but not super far future, we will be transitioning away from Facebook. So there's that. What do we got over here in the comments? Wendy says, hey guys, happy birthday, Meaghan. Corey says, hi, Inky. Matt says they will do it. I'm glad you've got all that faith in the Astros, Matt. That's why I love you.
Isn't Matt like our one Astros fan that like follows us?
Matt is our resident Astros fan.
He's the one we didn't piss off like 2 months ago.
They're still kind of watching. Let's see. Jay Brown ATL says, what's up? Matt says, hashtag believe. Stephen Smith Jr. Senior, I can't talk now, says, yo, 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 Cape. Hashtag the Braves. We've got a Team Twitch hashtag. Reese says, hey, it's me. We've got beer emojis from Nano Economics. Stephen Smith says, can Cape drink 3 beers live? Cape can drink like 15 beers live.
Yeah, you must not have watched this show very often, because I typically drink anywhere from 12 to 18 beers when we do this. So
Inky says, does anyone want to win an Aussie shirt and an Inky plush? Hey, yeah, go over to Inky's Twitter. He's doing a pretty cool little giveaway. So make sure you go over there and check that out. That way you can.
Inky, I'm in North Carolina right now. I think you should come see me.
I think he should too.
I'm probably far from him, but
Corey says Cape drinks 3 beers before breakfast. Braves fan 1313 says, thank you for all you guys do. You are great guys. Thank you.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
We appreciate that.
The only reason I drink 3 beers before breakfast is because you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That's very true. You cannot.
I should probably clarify right now that I actually have a job and like I go to work and shit. Like I don't drink all day.
Let's see here. I'm trying to do like 10 things at once because my video's looking a little janky to me. And I think it's because I've got the game on too. So I'm going to put the game on.
I was just noticing that I'm getting off the game too. So.
Oh, let me turn that down so it doesn't interrupt anything. So now I've got the game over here, and hopefully we won't have any more video issues. There. Now we're good to go. Inky says, see you in your dreams, Cape. I love you.
I love you too, Inky.
That's so sweet. We love Inky. Hey, is our backstage, is our guest here? Is he ready to go? We're a few minutes early, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Not yet. Okay. He's not here yet. So we'll start talking about, we missed last week. I apologize for that, everybody. I had some stuff going on. Wasn't a good week for me. Had to kind of regroup. So Jay Brown says, how about that All-Star logo? That thing looks.
Yeah, that shit's sick. Yeah.
Dusty Grant from the Sprout and Dusty Show is in the house. Dusty, how are you tonight?
Shout out to those guys. I did their podcast last night, and it was a wicked time. It was awesome.
Yes, if you did not catch that, make sure you go over. We retweeted it on Twitter. Make sure you go over and check that out and watch it. You can still watch the replay of it. It was an excellent episode. It was a good time. I enjoyed watching it.
You get to hear a little bit more of my wilder side on that episode. Some shit I don't get to talk about on this this podcast. So
Dusty's drinking whiskey, hanging out, having a good old time. Ronald and 4 wants to know, what's your best tattoo, Cape?
probably my torso. Probably I have my full torso done.
Inky says, very glad to have you back, Sarah. I love you. Dusty says, Cape murdered it last night. It was a very good episode. We definitely
was fun.
enjoyed that.
I like how I was supposed to go in there and talk about like metal and music and stuff, and we talked about basketball for like 30 minutes before we even really talked about anything. But it was a good time. They got a good show.
Meaghan, how are you celebrating today?
I'm not.
That's bullshit. You ain't got your septum pierced.
I did.
Looks tight.
I got to FaceTime my daughter today. She said, "Mommy, what's on your face?" Nothing.
What is that?
No, what is that? And I was like, I mean, it's right here. And she goes, no, like, what is that? And I was like, okay. And then my mom sent me a text message. She goes, aren't you too old for that shit? No.
Who said that?
My mom.
Wait, I thought you said your daughter said that. I was like, damn, shots fired.
My mom, she goes, aren't you too old for that shit? And I was like, no. What? Why? No. That's how I
Dude,
said.
I'll never forget. So when I first got my torso done, like I never was without a shirt on around my grandmother. Well, we all went to the beach together like 3 years after I got my torso done. I'm like, bro, I'm not about to be that dude at the beach with this fucking shirt on. Like, that's not gonna be me. And that's probably the shittiest look I've ever got from anyone when she saw me take my shirt off. I'll never forget that look. I literally thought she was gonna cut it off my body right there at the beach. But
My dad told me I'd never get into heaven with my tattoos. So
you know what I tell people like that? Our church is 4 white walls and white carpet and white pews. No, them shits have stained glass windows in them, nice pews. Think about it.
Yep.
what else do we have? Oh, Reese says you've got a Harambe tattoo.
I don't have a fucking Harambe tattoo. I have a tattoo of a gorilla, but it's Willie B as a gorilla that was at Zoo Atlanta he lived there like 41 years before he died. That's who my gorilla. There it is, right there.
Oh,
That's all Willie B. I get into Zoo Atlanta for free for that tattoo, so kiss my ass.
Oh, our guest is here.
Hell yeah.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna let Meaghan hop down for just a minute so we don't get super crowded in here. She's gonna stay with us so we can talk about some other stuff. We want to welcome Mr. Michael Kelly Jr. to the show. Michael, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
It's my pleasure, guys. How y'all doing?
Oh,
What's up, buddy?
We're here.
Good to see you.
Having a good old time. What do you think about these Braves this year?
Oh my God, man, it's just fun.
This is a good time.
I've been a fan my whole life, and man, is it fun this year? You know, and I think it's been so much fun for me because I follow the Braves like minor league, so to see so many of these kids come up now and actually be doing it, kids you followed for years, and it's a hell of a fun run.
It is also. I mean, I lived in Buford forever, right there by the Gwinnett Stadium. Now I live in Gainesville. So I mean, it's 30 minutes for me to go watch a minor league game. So we used to, like, every Thursday night, if they were in town, a big group of us would go watch them. Now I'm watching all these kids in the show, and I'm like, this is so awesome.
It's so great, man. I grew up in Lawrenceville.
Yeah, I was going to say you're
right
from
there.
Lawrenceville, right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel? Like, I know for me, I'm 37, so I very clearly remember the 95 World Series team and how exciting that year was. How does this season feel to you in comparison to that year? Because for me, I have like the same feeling going into the postseason that I did then.
I do too. I don't know with everything that's happened with pitching that I feel the same confidence that I felt then. I think, these guys have some things to overcome. I don't, that's not to say that I don't think that they can and will. Just that was that was crazy, man. 95, like you know, with those guys you had on the hills every night. It's like,
Yeah, you never had to worry about pitching then.
No, it was a cheat code for 10 years. Like, I mean, you could go into any series and know you're going to win three of the games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you know, I think, but that fire you got in you, you know, like that does feel the same. Like you know, watching that game last night and 2 nights, like you just watch every night and you're like, shit, these guys can do it. I mean, that lineup is, and they hit good pitchers well. So who knows, man? Who knows?
Unless your name is Jacob deGrom.
Not many people.
Nobody hits him. No.
Well, we don't have to worry about that, do we?
Nope.
Thank goodness. Like that's the one good thing about it. We can knock that issue out real early. I mean, how are you feeling about some of these other teams? Who else are you watching that you really feel like is going to be the biggest hill to climb?
I mean, look, I think the elephant in the room is the Dodgers. That team is ridiculous. It's total package. They've won handily almost over everybody, and it's you know, it's going to be tough. What I'm hoping is that they go up against San Fran and San Fran kicks them out early. That's what I'm really. I was talking to my buddy who's a Phillies fan last night, and one of my best friends, and we were laughing. We're like, boy, wouldn't that just be the best to see San Francisco knock out the Dodgers?
I mean, you never know. This has been a really crazy season. Just about anything could happen.
I was going to say crazier shit has happened, and we all know this is a year for crazy shit to happen. So
exactly,
you know, if it was going to happen, it would happen this year.
Exactly.
I think that's one thing baseball is worried about, though, with them going to expanded playoffs and you having teams in the postseason with under 500 records. What happens if one of those teams knocks off a number 1 seed?
Yeah,
like, how does that look for baseball?
I got to tell you, man, I don't know that I agree that all these teams should be in the playoffs. Like, I think it just feels wrong to me. I think especially sub 500 teams, it's like, I was looking to see like who was in it tonight. And I was just like, man, that's kind of messed up. Like these guys aren't even playing 500 ball and they have a chance. You know, I don't know. I just don't, I think you know, you've got to earn your way into it. And I understand they were under a lot of pressure with everything this year, but I don't know.
I completely agree with you. I think we all know why Major League Baseball did it. They make money off the postseason. If they get more postseason games, they make more money. That's what it really all boils down to. So
yeah, and you know what, man? Part of me is kind of like, well, you know what? They gave us baseball when we needed it. Like this country, you know, I'm not going to get political because I know that it's Georgia, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it kind of was something that brought the country together for a minute. And if they got to make some money by expanding the playoffs, then so be it. Because I think more than anything right now, we need to be Team America.
Baseball has always been that sport. I mean, think back to you know, whether whatever you thought about him politically, like George Bush throwing that first pitch at the first game at Yankee Stadium after 9/11, like that's 100%. A moment I will never forget. Like. Baseball's really, I mean, they call it, you know, American pastime, but it really is. I mean, it's America's sport. It's a sport that's always brought Americans together. So,
without a doubt, man, and I couldn't agree with you more about that W pitch after 9/11. You know,
and the best thing about it, I'm sure you've heard the story about Jeter coming in to the clubhouse and talking to him before, and he's like, "Yo, you've got to throw it from the mound." He's like, they'll boo you. They'll boo you if you don't throw it from the mound. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll throw it from the mound. And then as Jeter was like walking out of the clubhouse, Jeter turned around and was like, don't spike it in the ground either. They're going to boo you. And then we all know what happened. Bush goes out there, throws a strike right down the middle of the plate. So
yeah, he did hurl it, man. That was a pretty sweet pitch. I'll give him that.
That's how cool Derek Jeter is. He's in there talking shit
to the
president of the United States.
Oh, I love it.
Let's see. We do have some comments over here. We like to keep up with what everybody's saying during the show. Gerb says, didn't the 7-9 Seahawks knock off the Saints during the Marshawn Lynch earthquake run?
Yep.
I mean, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anytime,
I mean,
anytime the Saints lose, that's a good day. So
without a doubt. God dang these Falcons! My God, I mean, hadn't happened in 70-something years. Leave it up to us. Like that was just
bro,
like what?
we do not have enough time to talk about how preposterous Sunday was.
We'll
I mean,
stay with Brave.
the one thing about it is the onside kick. I learned how to cover an onside kick in middle school football. Like,
Man, I was saying it. I didn't play football, and I was saying to my buddy last night, I was like, there were, Pop Warner kids screaming at the TV.
oh
Like
yeah,
there were children watching that game scream and jump on the damn ball.
that's what was funny. My fiance was like, "Can I ask you a question?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Why do you like scream and yell at the TV when the Falcons are playing, but you never scream and yell at the TV when the Braves are playing?" I'm like, the Braves don't do dumb shit. When they get beat, it's because they got beat for the most part. The Falcons do dumb shit and lose games, and it makes me angry.
I mean, it just was a Super Bowl all over again, man. Only the stakes were a lot lower, but
Yeah,
it was hard. It was just like, wow, anything that could go wrong was going to go wrong.
yeah.
And I just sort of feel like that's the way it is. I really hope the Braves sort of break this ATL curse that's sort of been hanging over our heads for a while now. It's like
Atlanta United won one, and I was really hoping,
Yeah.
like, I was like, okay, sweet, an Atlanta team won a championship. This is awesome. I hope this continues in the other major sports in Atlanta. I still think it's the Olympics. The Olympics were in Atlanta the year after the Braves won the World Series. There was a bombing at the Olympics, and Atlanta hasn't done shit since then. So,
all right, there you go.
I think that's my conspiracy theory about the Olympics.
So do they need to bring the Olympics back to Atlanta to get rid of this, or what? Let's make it happen.
It's gonna be a long wait.
Whatever's got to happen here. Let's get this done.
Maybe it's the All-Star game that's gonna reverse the trend there.
Maybe that'll get it.
But I don't know. Did you see the logo that they released tonight for the All-Star game?
I did.
It looks awesome.
I did. I'm really hoping to play in that celebrity game that year. I got asked to do it when it was in DC. It was during the height of House of Cards, and they asked me to play in it. And I forget what movie I was doing, but I wasn't able to make it. But this year, I'm going to be like, if I get invited again, I'm going to clear the schedule. I got to be there for that. I got to be there for that.
Speaking of movies and House of Cards, is it a special or is it a series that's coming out on HBO? It is on HBO, right?
No, Showtime. It's a 2-night event called the Comey Rule. Okay. And it's Sunday and Monday night, I think. It's really Jeff Daniels is in it and Brendan Gleeson's in it. It's I saw it. It's really good. Two nights of a 2-hour, basically like 2 little movies. Back to back. And it's I was doing press for it all day today, and the writer and director, it's like, it's really interesting because, and I've seen it, so I can attest to this. It's that it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Like, this is a look at what happened in 2016 leading up to the election and then afterwards. And it's not just Comey's. The writer said Comey's book was a jumping off point, but then he went to DC and he talked to Republicans and he talked to Democrats and he went on both sides of the aisle to get the whole story of what happened. It's an interesting look at that whole thing, though.
That's all. Anything that you're in and Jeff Daniels is in, I'm there. So
I mean, dude, Jeff Daniels is so freaking good, man.
Oh, he's awesome.
And Brendan Gleeson is, I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but he does Trump, and it's like he doesn't, he doesn't do this like impression of him. He sort of really is him. It's really, really good. As an actor, I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, a lot of times you see people that portray Trump in some way or another, and they're kind of just parodying him.
Yeah,
so he really like went full on into this then.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, they did the hair and makeup test for the director, and they brought Brendan Gleeson to the director, and he was like, "No, too orange on the skin, tone it down." And too much craziness with the hair, tone it down a little bit. And they actually gave him suits that fit him a little bit better. Like if anything, they made him look better than he does. So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool in that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we do have a few comments over here for you. Reese Tate wants us to tell you that he really enjoyed you in Generation Kill. He says the whole miniseries was off the damn chain and it really represented the guys that he was in with.
Oh man! First of all, Reese, thank you for your service, brother. I'm a big supporter of the men and women of our military, and I can't thank you enough. That was a hell of a great thing to be a part of, and an honor.
Yeah, Generation Kill. So Reese is one of my best friends, and me and Reese
Right
work
on.
together, travel the country. Me and Reese have watched Generation Kill together. I mean,
Right
that was a
on.
killer. It was killer. So
Yeah, man, that character I got to play, Captain Brian Patterson. I mean, that what a great man. Just
yeah.
sick. And Rudy Reyes, the guy who played Rudy Reyes was Rudy Reyes.
Yeah.
He played himself in it. And that I still keep a lot of those guys, man. We became like brothers in that, and great relationships, man.
Is he as crazy in real life as what he seems like he would be?
Yeah, man. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram, and that dude works out. I don't know how many times a day. Like he really does. Like
I was about to say, I follow him on Instagram. And I'm like, if I could look half that good, if I could be in half that good a shape, I'd be good. I'd be set.
I would wear those same shorts that he wears
every day.
Nothing but his actual dick and the buns. That's the only thing it covers. Like, I'd wear that if I look like that too. But he was the one who kept us on the sickest shape. Like he would be like, "Hey brother, did you get your workout in today?" Nah, and he's like, "Come on, let's get one in. We got 30 minutes for the next setup," and he would do it like right then and there. Fucking awesome.
Those are good people to have around, but at the same time, they're my least favorite people because they're always asking you. They're always like, "Let's do it. Let's get the workout in right now," at the worst possible time when you're just like, "Can I have 10 minutes?" Like, no, we got to do it now.
Yep.
So I had a question for you. I was going to ask you this. I was on a Zoom call with you one day with a bunch of Braves fans. I was going to ask you, but everybody was asking you all kinds of shit, so I didn't. So you being an actor, you're based out of New York now, right?
Yeah. I've lived here for 20 plus.
So, obviously Georgia's gone through the huge film boom over the last 10 years. Yeah. Was it cool for you to be able to like come back and work in Georgia, being, growing up in Lawrenceville and getting to work here and like,
what's crazy, dude? I've never worked there.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Dude, I don't have a friend in the business who hasn't worked in Georgia. Yeah. I was offered one movie that I didn't end up doing that shot there. And I was, me and another guy, it was up for the two of us for a TV show that shot there, and he got it. But I mean, it's just, thankfully I was on House of Cards for 6 years while that boom was happening. So half of my year was, it takes 6 months to do a season. So half of that year was, and the jobs that I did in between those seasons just ended up being in different places. Yeah. But I do look forward to it, man. I dream. I mean, I can't wait.
It's awesome for Atlanta. I mean, the revenue, the jobs that it brought into Atlanta, it's been all, I mean,
oh yeah.
I used to be a bouncer at a bar in downtown Atlanta, right on Georgia State's campus. And this is what blew my mind about the film industry. This dude walks up and is like, "Hey man, we were told that the white Audi parked 2 streets over is your car. It's parked on the side of the road." And I was like, "Yeah, that's my car." He goes, "All right, well, we're filming a movie and we're trying to set up. Here's $250. Can you go move your car?" I was like, "What the fuck?"
You're like, "Yes, I can."
I was like, I mean, I would have just moved it. All you had to do is ask me. I'd have moved it somewhere else. But yeah, I'll take the $250. And then when they shot Anchorman 2, the bar that I worked, when the big fight scene at the end of Anchorman 2 was in a park right across the street from our bar. So they like rented our bar out for an entire month, and we owned the hookah like head shop right down the street. Well, they rented it out. They used our bar as like an actor's lounge and everything. So nobody had to work for like a whole month. We still got paid. Everything is awesome. I'm like, dude, this is crazy, man.
What else can film here?
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. And the money that production brings to the state, that production brings to anywhere it goes is a lot of money, man. And it's great for economies. And
Especially, I mean, with them building Pinewood in Fayetteville, Georgia, and Avengers Marvel deciding to film everything, that was huge for Georgia. So
Yep. It's a big deal, man. Big deal.
All right, so we have another question over here. We've got Gary Mendel. He says, Michael, is it true you're writing, directing, starring in the sequel to Did You Hear About the Morgans?
That is absolutely false, Gary Mendel. It's absolutely false. Oh, it's my brother-in-law. I love that dude.
Kevin Johnson says, can we get Michael on the final season of Ozark? It would be great to work together.
I would love that. Are you kidding me? Man, would I love that.
Ozark's killer. So Ozark is actually filmed about 5 minutes from my house. It's filmed on, it's filmed like it's filmed like kind of in Flowery Branch, right between Beaufort and Oakwood on Lake Lanier. So
yeah, that show's amazing, Kevin.
Oh,
congrats.
Yeah. Especially the last season, the ending of the last season. I'm like, dude, that did not just happen. Like,
wait, I didn't see it.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not a spoilers person, so I wasn't gonna say what happened. I'm just saying, go watch it. It'll blow your mind.
Right on.
So we've got Inky's got some important news for us. He says Ian Anderson is an ace. I love you. Let's talk about Ian Anderson for a minute. That kid has been so impressive.
I tell you, if he's not an ace, he sure as hell is acting like one. You know, and look at Kyle Wright too. Like the last two starts, like that's a formidable trio right there, right? I mean,
I don't.
And then you gotta think Soroka comes back next year, and you've got those four together.
Man, absolutely. I mean, I think they'll go out and sign a good, well above average starter veteran.
Trevor Bauer.
What's that?
Trevor Bauer.
Can you imagine, dude?
Oh my God. The funniest part about it would be Trevor Bauer and Braves Twitter together. Imagine Josh Brown and Trevor Bauer going back and forth at each other. It'd be ridiculous. That's how Trevor is. Trevor chirps at people on Twitter. It'd be so funny.
Dude, his Twitter is just genius. It's genius. I absolutely love that guy. What an acquisition that would be, man.
The best thing about Trevor is the fact that we all know the commissioner of baseball sucks. We all know that. Trevor says it on a daily basis on Twitter. Like, I'm pretty sure MLB's new social media policy was made directly because of Trevor Bauer. Manfred's like, cool, I'll put it into this. I'll just make a rule that I can find you anytime you tweet about me.
That's funny.
Speaking of Ian Anderson, we were talking about him, though. The one thing I'll say about him is I've never seen a rookie pitcher get, just thrown into the middle of it and look like a 10-year vet. I mean, like, not just the way he pitches, the way he carries himself, the way he looks on the mound. Like, rookies don't come in and look calm, collected, and intimidating while they're pitching. And that's how he's looked every time he's been on the mound. Even when people are, hitting off of him, he still doesn't look sketched out or anything. That's super impressive to me.
Yeah, his composure on the mound is like you said, that of a 10-year. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Like I was worried there for a little while because it felt like we had nobody. And now, Kyle Wright went down and made some adjustments and came back, and Ian Anderson has just looked so solid.
Well, look at Bryce Wilson 2 nights ago when we clinched.
Yeah.
What? This is such an Atlanta shit to happen. Is right at the end of the season, we're going into the postseason, and all of a sudden we got 4 pitchers that can fucking pitch. I just hope that carries on through the postseason.
Totally.
I mean, it's a little worrisome, you've got kids that never pitched in the postseason. I mean, Max hasn't even been a starting pitcher in the postseason. He came out of the bullpen last year. So
that's just crazy, dude. It's
they didn't even give him a start last year. Let's not even talk about that. But
but it's also kind of like that story, It's like, wow, can you imagine? Like, what a great story that would be for baseball. What a great story, obviously, it would be for Atlanta, but for baseball as a whole, man, MLB would love that. Love it.
Yeah.
That's
what I've told everyone all year. I'm like, the Braves will win the World Series this year to spite me. They'll win one in a 60-game season and won't win another one until after I die. That would be my luck.
No, here's the thing about these Atlanta Braves is that I think we are at, granted, I don't think they're going to be able to re-sign Ozuna. I think, I do think they should make the designated hitter next year. But I don't think they'll get him back, and he was an integral part. But look, Alex Anthopoulos has been able to do it year after year, right? I mean, thank God that I'm blanking on his stupid haircut. Josh Donaldson was a greedy little bitch, and, and then he took the money, and we got Ozuna because we saw how that worked out. But
that's weird. I don't get.
I think the years ahead are just going to be better and better and better.
Oh yeah. Oh, this team is. I firmly believe this team is on the cusp of multiple World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're standing right there at the front door. And what I was going to say is, I do not understand the hate that Alex Anthopoulos gets. Like at the trade deadline. So, all right, we got Tommy Malone. Did he suck? Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever. And people are like, he's the shittiest GM ever. I'm like, you're the same GM that brought in Travis d'Arnaud, which might be the steal of the offseason.
Yep.
Brings in Marcell Ozuna, has Adam Duvall for this year and another year.
Has 3 closers.
Yeah.
Three closers.
Yeah, you can go if you get your starter to pitch 6, you can go 7, 8, and 9 with a closer. You're gonna call this dude a shitty GM? You don't know baseball. Like, that's all it.
He's been amazing, and I'll admit I was hoping that they would do something at the trade deadline, but once I started reading about what it was going to take to get some of those guys, I was like, not in this 60-game COVID season. Do you get rid of Pache or Waters or Ian Anderson or whatever? Fuck that. No way.
The asks and the wants just greatly outweighed what you would get in return. I mean,
yeah, he's killed it, man. He's killed it. We got a great team. We got great leadership. Everything's there,
Yeah, I love, my favorite thing about Anthopoulos is everybody always talks crap about his affinity for the 1-year deal. And it seems like he always finds just the right guy for the 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And, last year it was Josh Donaldson. This year it's Marcell. And even Cole Hamels. Yes, we only got 1 game out of him. But if he's been working with these kids,
Max
so
especially.
much of what has happened there has made he's the most expensive pitching coach you will ever see. But
that's so good.
To me,
everyone keeps complaining like we paid him $18 million. I'm like, no, we didn't. We paid him $6.6 million.
Yep, he got
that's still a really expensive pitching coach.
127,000 a pitch or something like that.
Yeah, that's like $2.2 billion in innings.
Who cares, man? Look what he did to the kids. Look what he did for those kids. You're exactly, and what he will continue to do for those kids during these playoffs, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think, all issues with Hamels aside, I think it was a great pickup. That's going to be information those guys are going to move forward with, and it's just going to be so valuable to them in the end. Like people have no idea like what that's going to do for us in the future.
Yeah.
Well, every GM will also tell you you're not going to hit on every deal you do. Luckily, the deal you didn't hit on was a 1-year deal and not a multiple year deal where we're stuck, we're shafted for years in the future.
Yeah, like some of those deals we've done in the past.
Oh my God,
BJ Upton and Dan Douglas, and like Jesus
That's the
Christ,
first thing everybody thinks of is BJ.
Yeah, everyone thinks BJ. Like I get
but
what
Ugla was worse.
Yeah.
Ugla, you could argue that Ugla was actually worse because he stayed with us for so damn long. Just like sucked.
Yeah, I would just remember Ugla coming up and be like, "Fuck, here's a strikeout."
Yeah,
strikeout. Like I get what the Braves try to do with BJ. You signed Justin, you signed BJ. Now you've got the face of the franchise, the Upton brothers, but that shit did not work out. And I'll never forget. I was at the last game at Turner Field. The last pitch ever thrown, Justin Upton struck out as a Detroit Tiger at Turner Field, and it was hilarious. I think he was with. I think it was Detroit. He was with.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, man. I you know what I'm really wondering about is Fulte, man, and what's going on there. I'd heard he'd put the weight on.
That's what we all heard.
Got the velocity up in the 90s again. I'm curious if anything happens with him.
I'd like to see it because what a lot of people didn't understand. I mean, yeah, Fulte was getting shelled, but when your fastball velo is 88, 89 miles an hour, there's no movement on that ball at all.
Mhm.
So if his velo comes back up, he'll have movement on that ball.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
all he needed. Like, I mean, his velo was down so far, he was throwing meatballs. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he was. I think he was one of our best pitchers, man. I mean, he was great, man. And I know he can be that again. I just hope it's with the Braves because I love that guy, man.
I do too.
His wife posted a picture, something about celebrating before Daddy goes to the bubble with him and the kids and his wife, and he looked really good.
When recently?
When was
It's
it?
just been. I just saw it today.
So that means he's coming.
I mean, if he's going to the bubble, I mean, alternate site guys don't go to the bubbles. So.
I mean, they'll have the expanded roster there. I believe. I think the 40-man goes.
Yeah.
So, so he's
about
been
that?
called for that.
All right.
Oh, you got to think about something right here. Say in a postseason game, Kyle Wright or Bryce Wilson go out there and just fuck up the first or second inning. Fulty's a hell of a dude to bring out of the bullpen and carry you 3 or 4 innings if he can.
Right. Right.
You know?
You imagine throwing that arm in the mix?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that this you know, and I don't know with the no days off thing like that's gonna be tough. You know, you do kind of need a 4 and a 5, but we can kind of make a 4 and a 5 out of multiple arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think because you have such depth in the pitch, they're going to carry more arms, I think, than the regular teams do. But I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun.
There's options at least. Like
I just want to see him win that first one. Like,
Let's not even
get
talk about
third
World
one.
Series. Let's win this
Exactly.
first one. Yeah.
let's get out of the first round and then we'll worry about the next one.
Lift that shit off. Who do you guys think we'll go against?
Oh, I don't.
Right now it's the Giants, I believe.
Or who do you want to go against?
I want anybody. I want the Cardinals. I want the St. Louis Cardinals.
For the revenge and
Yes, for the infield fly and the fucking 10-run inning last year.
yeah.
And I think we would get it. And I would love to give a 10-run inning right back to them.
Yeah. The only thing with the Cardinals that I like is I really like their fan base. I think they are probably the most knowledgeable fan base in baseball as a whole. Like that city, they don't just go to the games and spend a shit ton of money on tickets and food and whatnot. They are real fans who know the team, who know the averages and players, and they're not just I'm jumping on bandwagon. They're fans, and I respect them for that. So I will say that. But damn, I'd love to beat their ass.
I would love to see Acuna hit a game-winning home run off them, round the bases, and headbutt the fuck out of Yadier.
that I would love.
That's what I want to see.
That would be. I mean, it'd be a good time. I would love to. I would like to see. I want to see the Reds, but at the same time, I don't, because that could get dangerous.
Yeah, that definitely could be.
But I kind of feel like if you get the Reds out of the way early, you don't have as much to worry about.
I don't know. I want to get to the first series. I don't want to get somebody out of the way that's harder than somebody else. You know, it's like no matter what, you're probably going to have to face the Dodgers at some point. So, you know, that's going to be a tall order. I'm not saying we can't do it, but that's going to be tough.
Like last year, last year pissed me off so bad because if the Braves get through the Cardinals, the Braves are beating the shit out of the Nationals. They beat the shit out of them all year last year. You know,
100% believe that. Yep.
There's no one on earth that could tell me that the Braves wouldn't have won that series against the Nationals. I don't give a shit how hot they were, how good they were playing in the postseason. We beat their ass all year last year.
Yep.
So that makes that 10-run inning game. It infuriates me. But
no, it was the game before that one, man. That one, the fourth game was the killer. The fifth game was inevitable after losing that fourth game. I just felt like, you know, they had that game. That game was theirs.
What sucked is I was traveling for work back and forth. I watched game 1 and game 2 on a Delta flight. I watched game 3 and game 4 in the Detroit airport. So I got home the morning of game 5. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm at my house. I can sit in the recliner. I can drink beer. I can watch this game. 20 minutes later, I'm like, I should have just kept my ass on a Delta flight or at the fucking airport. Like, this sucks.
Yeah, man. My son and I, we were all watching it, but really my son and I were so into it. And he, he was like, it's okay. We can do it. We can come back. I was like, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But you know what? This team can come back from
yeah.
a big, like, that's the thing. Like the Dodgers and the Braves have is that 1 through 9, you're in trouble if you're a pitcher. Like that's anybody, and we haven't had that as a Braves fan in a long time.
Well, there's nowhere in that lineup to go for an out. There's no one you can be like, okay, there's my out right there, or here's my out. You don't have that in this lineup.
No, you can't just walk somebody. Like, you're seeing people. We play the Nationals. You see them walking Soto all the time.
Yeah,
you're hard pressed to find somebody to walk in our lineup.
Yeah.
If you walk Ronnie, you got to deal with Freddie. If you walk Freddie, you got to deal with the Big Bear. I mean, there's just nobody that you can really get around.
Yeah. I mean, you got Ozzie Albies and Swanson down at the bottom of your order. It's like, that's
like, say you get through, Acuna, Freddie, and Ozuna. All right, cool. You got through that inning. Next inning, you got to face Darno, Duvall, and Austin Riley, or Darno, Duvall, and Dansby Swanson. You're like, bro, this is bullshit. I don't want to right now.
Isn't it something what's happened with Austin Riley? Like, I felt like it was coming, but it was sure is nice to see it, man. Like that.
He's right there, prime for a break. I mean, just to be a superstar. He's looked great defensively this year.
Defensively.
His eye looks a lot better and he has been a lot more athletic at the hot corner than I thought he was capable of being, which is a great sign.
Totally agree. Really good defensively, like well above average.
And then his eyes looked a lot better at the plate.
Yeah,
he realized he's got a baseball bat in his hand and not a fucking shovel, so he don't have to go there swinging everything in the dirt, which has been awesome. I think next year from him will be fucking killer. So
I think he's gonna look. Sorry, I've got the game on right down here, and we just about had a big play, but
it's 3-0 now apparently.
Yeah, bases were loaded.
Wait,
you know what's crazy?
Oh shit, I see it now.
Yeah, they almost got the out at third. That was almost
Like Michael just said though, 3-0 doesn't mean shit to me.
No,
and I was on the phone. I talked to a friend of mine for a long time last night, one of my close friends, and I was like, bro, if the pitchers that we throw in the postseason can hold teams to 4 or 5 runs, we can win every fucking game.
Yeah,
we can win every game as long as we can hold them to 4 or 5 runs. I feel confident that offense can win those games.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, like right now we're facing, like as of late, we've been facing teams that are not those playoff teams, right? So they do have better pitchers to come in. But like I said before, we are hitting good pitchers really well too. So,
I mean, we lit Garrett Cole's ass up in New York City. So
God, I love that. Let me tell you, dude, living in New York City for 20-something years as a Braves fan is no easy feat,
I don't know how you deal with Mets fans and Yankees fans at the same time.
They're both so obnoxious, man. So obnoxious. My manager, who's one of my best friends, he's a diehard Yankees fan. Like I would say he knows more. He definitely knows more about baseball than I do. He knows more about the Yankees than I do about the Braves, and I know a pretty good amount about the Braves. I told him the other night, I was like, it was the morning after we clinched, and I was like, dude, we broke one of your records. He was like, what? And I was like, most division titles in MLB history with 20. And he was like, you beat us? And I was like, yep, Yankees had 19. And he was like, how many World Series? No,
I was about to say, let me guess, he had 27 rings, didn't he?
No, he said, he goes, and what would a Yankees fan say that? And I was like, how many World Series? I know.
Yeah.
But, I always go back to what Chipper said. He said, the only other one that 14 division titles, the only World Series that we should have won that we didn't was that 96 Yankees?
96 and 99.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 90. He said there's only one other one that we should have won. Every other year we got beat by the better team, and I always take solace in that.
To bring up those Yankees Braves World Series, I've told this story on our show before. I hate the Yankees because the only World Series game I ever got to go to, I went with my dad. It was Game 2, 99 World Series at Turner Field, Braves Yankees, and they beat the shit out of us. It was like 9-2 or 7-2, and we left. We left, and I mean, I'm like 10 years old, and I looked at my dad, and I was like, "Can I say a cuss word?" My dad was like, "Yeah, you can say a cuss word." And I said, "I hate those damn Yankees." And like, so my dad said that to me over and over again throughout the years. So just look at me and be like, "Hey, man, I hate those damn Yankees." Yeah, so do I.
I love it. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough, and but I hate the Yankees because I feel like, and it's not totally their fault. I mean, it's MLB, right? I don't see a world in which the game is fair when one team can spend 3 times more than another team. In our case, it's 2 times as much as us.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we could add another $100 million to our payroll? That's what the Dodgers and the Yankees have. $100 million more dollars.
Yeah.
That would be
3
the names you would see on this team with that money.
What I'm getting from you is your pro salary cap in Major League Baseball.
I just think there's got to be and I get it, right? Like the Atlanta Braves signed a really shitty TV deal a long time ago, and that they are paying the price for that, which it's almost up, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's got to be with
2023, I think.
God dang. That hurts him a lot, but there's still just something. It just doesn't feel right. It's like, oh, we need a pitcher. Okay, $300 million. Here you go.
Who do you want?
Yeah, it's just wrong, man. I don't know. I hate that some teams, small market teams, even smaller than us, they can't go above 100. You know what I mean? Like, that sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, it still blows my mind that teams like Philadelphia can go out and throw $320 million at Bryce Harper. The Angels, which is also a Los Angeles team, or Anaheim, whatever they're going by these days,
right.
So almost $500 million at Mike Trout. Like,
yeah.
And then you're over here. Someone just said in the comments that the mid markets can even win games is impressive. That it is impressive.
It is. It is. It really is. And
I mean, like the Kansas City Royals won a fucking World Series like 5 years ago.
Right.
And they can't have near as much money as what the Braves have.
Oh, there's no way. I mean, Kansas City is not, I'm like dead smack in the middle of Denver, Kansas City, and Dallas. So, I've got Rangers, Royals, and Rockies. And I would say by far the lowest budget team there is going to be the Royals. And I mean, they have a beautiful stadium. They have really nice facilities. Like it's a great little area, but I mean, sits in the middle of crap. Like if you drive around that area,
I've driven through there, and like literally you come through Kansas City, and then it's just like 18 huge fucking parking lots with a football stadium and a ballpark in the middle of the parking lot.
You're going down the interstate, and then you can see Arrowhead back behind it, and then you just see that giant Royals logo as you're driving by, and that's it. There's nothing. There's hotels a few minutes away, but there's just nothing there. And I mean, and that part, the area that it's in, I mean, it's over on the Missouri side, and it's just not. I had to do job training like 5 minutes from Kaufman, and they were like, make sure your car's locked. Make sure you're, don't go outside by yourself at night. Like, it's not in a good area for, and I was like, oh, well, that's great. This is fun.
I mean, that's how Turner Field was for a long time. And I mean, there was a lot of balls dropped with that. The city of Atlanta were to do a lot of things that they never landed up doing. And I mean, I don't blame the Braves one bit for doing what they did. And like I said, the funniest thing about the whole situation is everybody bitched about them moving to Cobb County. They weren't going to be in Atlanta. And then the city of Atlanta annexes that whole area into the city. So they have an Atlanta address. So It's hilarious. But I mean, you would go to Turner Field, and if you couldn't get parked in a parking lot, you'd be riding around, and people like, "Hey, you can park right here in my front yard." I'm like, "Bro, I'm not parking in your front yard.
Yeah.
I want my car to be here when I get back." Like,
At least one. I don't want my car up on
and there was nothing to do. I mean, you could, tailgate and drink beer at your car, but I mean, if you wanted to go get a bite to eat or, go to a bar,
no.
there wasn't shit to do. Like,
No. But the setup now is so beautiful, man. I mean,
the only thing better they could have done is if Marta would go towards there now, but it didn't go to Turner Field either. You had to go to 5 Points, get off, get on a bus, and go to Turner.
I know, man. I get a lot of shit about that being here in New York too. Like, oh my God, look, you guys are so used to going to the playoffs that you can't even fill a stadium. I'm like, you have no idea. Where I live in Lawrenceville, if I want to go to a baseball game and get there around the start of a baseball game, back when it was at Turner, it was 2+ hours. Like you just drove there and then sat, and then good luck finding somewhere to park. Like it was a nightmare.
Like last year, so I worked right before Christmas last year, I worked in Astoria, Queens, and I had to go to Elmira, New York afterwards to get from Astoria to on the interstate in the Bronx where Yankee Stadium was at. It took me 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'm like, I could not fucking do this. Like,
yeah, but from right here in my house on the Lower East Side, I can go jump on a subway train and take me get off it and walk right into the steps of the stadium. Like that's how you do it. Like
I tell people that all the time.
Either one.
And for DC's the same way, Chicago's the same way. Like I've told everyone's like, oh well, we don't want a train coming up here to Gwinnett, or we don't want one coming to I'm like, bro, do you understand in DC you can take the train like an hour and 45 mintes outside of the city? Like, and at every major city, pretty much, but Atlanta's like, we don't want that. And Atlanta's on the cusp of really becoming a progressive major city in this country, but there's still just a bunch of better backwoods dumbasses that live in Georgia. So.
Yeah, it's changing. It's changing a lot. I'm sorry.
Inky did some research for us. The final year of the TV deal is 2027.
God dang.
God.
We're stuck in that for a while.
That was worse than I thought it was.
Damn, Inky. When you said 2023, I was like, really? Is it that late? I thought we were close to being done with that.
Bro, he blew mine out of the water.
Inky says he doesn't love that. Either do we. Nobody here does.
I'm sorry. That's a bummer. Thanks a lot, Inky.
Ruined everybody's night. We thought we were almost out of this TV deal. Now we're like, we got 7 more years of this.
All right, man. I got to hit it.
All right, man. Awesome. Dude, hey, best of luck.
Great hanging with y'all, man. Let's do it again if we get past that first round.
You know what? Absolutely. We would love to. And tell everybody, for anybody that may not have been in here when we talked about it at first, tell everybody when the show is airing and like give them the rundown on it real quick.
It is called The Comey Rule. It is this Sunday and Monday, I think, 27th, 28th. 2-night event, limited series with Jeff Daniels. Really good shit.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael. We appreciate you being here, and definitely come back anytime you want.
All right. Y'all take care, man. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a good time. Yeah. I didn't mean to we kept him for almost 45 minutes. I didn't mean to keep him for that long. Okay. I know we said Meaghan was going to come back in with us. She had something that came up, so she is not going to be rejoining us. So it's just me and you. So.
Hey, I mean, me and you are pretty good at talking. I'm sure we can figure something out.
We talk, we do this. We're pretty okay at it. So let's talk about award winners coming up. I know.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have another new background, and this one's fucking sick too.
Yeah.
This one's different than the one a minute ago.
Yeah, it's all set up.
Our producers are fucking killing it back there.
We've got some great people working behind the scenes. Our back home media crew, Derek and Kent. We appreciate everything they do for us. We love them very much. Kent did all the work.
Awesome. Kent, you killed it. It looks sick. I like it.
Kent's awesome. So we'll do a quick reminder for everybody. You can see across the top, the Patreon is patreon.com/easyoutpodcast. You can find us on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, all over the place. If you are late joining us, just remember we are starting to transition away from Facebook. So we're here now. We'll be here for a little bit longer. We are going to kind of phase that out. So if you're watching us on Facebook, make sure you go follow us on Twitch, or make sure you're watching us on Twitter at Periscope. Twitch is by far the show you did with Sprout and Dusty last night looked so good on Twitch.
Did you watch it on Twitch?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was watching it through there. It looked great. Inky says he'll fill in for Meaghan. I don't know, Inky. We had some issues with your video last time.
Yeah, bro, Inky, you are not getting on the show. It took you an hour and a half to get into our live chat. So
we would love to have you on sometime if we can get it sorted out. Have a chat with Inky. Let's talk about some of the big names. Trevor Bauer flat out said he's going for the Cy Young.
oh, bro, did you see him? Was that last night or night before last? That was
When
last
he had
night.
Yelich swinging at pitches that were bouncing in front of the plate.
Fuck yeah.
That's
And
a
then-
bad man.
And then fucking screamed like a savage. I'm like, I need this motherfucker in a Braves uniform next season.
See, that's where, like when we were talking to Michael about the 1-year deals and stuff like that. If we lose a guy like Ozuna, which,
That has to be an automatic Trevor Bauer sign if you lose Ozuna.
you have to go for somebody like that, because that's
No
the
way.
one thing he always brings. Like, he brings these guys in on these 1-year deals, but they're these dudes that have this spark to them. Like Josh Donaldson had that spark for us last year. Ozuna has got everybody so fired up this year. Like, I feel like you have to bring a Trevor Bauer in, or you have to bring that kind of a personality in if you lose this guy.
Yeah. I mean, and I hate to say it, I'm with Michael on that one. Someone's going to give Ozuna a fuck ton of money, and they're going to give him multiple years. And I highly doubt that's going to be the Braves.
And I said when this season started, I would not get attached to whoever the 1-year deal guys were anymore, because I wanted
You're a
Josh Donaldson.
Fucking liar.
I know, I wanted Josh Donaldson for so long, and then we got him. And that was where that came from, was just that I wanted him on this team.
Yeah.
And then we got Ozuna. I was like, I'm never getting attached to a 1-year player again. And you know what? If he would not have commented on that picture of Little Bear,
Yeah, that was
saying he
fucking.
was
I
so happy
completely
to be
forgot
his
about
favorite
that. That's
player.
awesome.
like,
Yeah.
if he wouldn't have done that, I probably would still just be like, I like him. I like the guy, but I can let him go. And now if we lose him, I'm going to be like, oh, my kid's favorite player is gone. Like, this sucks. I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
Inky, we can try again after the show. We'll see how it works this time. We can do that.
I mean, I try to behave myself because, like, Michael Kelly's like my friend and I talk to him all the time. So I didn't want to be a belligerent drunk. So I have like 9 beers left. So, like, we can do an after show party.
Oh, we can absolutely do an after show. Do you remember that night we didn't really talk about baseball, but we talked about like Patrick Mahomes sounds like Kermit the Frog and all that other stuff?
Yes.
Have you seen? I don't know what. Do you watch the games on the MLB app?
Sometimes I do. Yeah.
Do you get the Head and Shoulders commercial with Patrick Mahomes in it during the games?
Okay, so I don't know what the deal is with I don't see any commercials on my MLB app.
I always see a few. Like, I'll get commercial break in progress.
Yeah, that's all I get is commercial break in progress.
Like, I kind of get a mix. Sometimes it just gives me that, and sometimes it gives me commercials. But there's a commercial, and it's Patrick Mahomes and Troy. I don't know how you say his last name. The guy with the real long hair. Plays for the Steelers.
Oh, Troy Polamalu?
Yeah, that name. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to butcher it and sound
Here,
stupid.
you ready? It's Polamalu.
Okay, I got it. But it's
Troy
a Head and
Polamalu.
Shoulders commercial with the two of them, and they're talking about like they're just going back and forth. Like, there's one part where Mahomes says he eats 100% of his green beans. He 100% doesn't like them, 100% doesn't care. But every time he starts talking, I just picture Kermit the Frog, and I can't even watch that commercial.
Dude, it's horrible. Like, he out of all athletes, celebrities, everything. He has the shittiest fucking voice of anyone I've ever heard.
Like, and I never would have noticed it. I probably wouldn't have even. I noticed that he's kind of annoying, but I never would have picked it up if it hadn't been brought up on here. And now, like, it's on mute, and I'm watching it on my phone, and I just see him pop up on the screen, and I'm like, God, not this again. I can't do that. I can't hear Kermit the Frog right now.
That's bad when it's on mute and you could just still hear that I eat gravel for breakfast voice. I
just hear him like 100% don't like him, 100% don't care. And that, like, I feel like, I can't do it. Let's see. Shelton Seller says we can pick him up for 3 years, I think, semi-safely. Acuna ripped the budget, but Ozuna should be attainable. The Braves lose chemistry over and over and can't push deep into the postseason. You know what? That's a good point. Like, losing guys that you have that kind of chemistry with can kind of affect that. Like I said, I would love to see Ozuna come back. I don't know if it'll happen. I think unless you give him a real good 1-year deal, he's probably not coming.
Hey, shout out to Shelton. That's my boy.
Right on.
I've been friends with Shelton for like 16 years. Me and his sister used to date back in the day. It's a good dude. I like Shelton. Been friends with him for a long time.
Glad to have you with us, Shelton.
Thanks for watching, buddy.
So we were starting to talk about the Cy Young candidates. Obviously, Trevor Bauer is in that race. National League, Yu Darvish is in that race. Now, it's been said that if you miss a start, you're out.
And Yu Darvish got fucking hammered the other night too.
Yeah. So DeGrom has missed a start. With his injury. Max, do we feel like Max Fried still has a chance?
I'll be complete. It's Trevor Bauer's to lose right now. I truly believe.
And then at the same time, like, does that get affected by his relationship with MLB?
Yeah, I mean, let's bring this up. Did you see the fucking tweet that chick released today about Trevor Bauer, the whole thread?
No.
About how he's like the shittiest human on earth. Like, so she brought up, there's so much shit. She brought up how he was racist. She brought up how he was like sexist. She brought up, Rachel Luba, his agent. She like posted pictures of them and like Cabo or somewhere together, and she's like sitting on Trevor's shoulders. I was like, his relationship with his agent sure is weird. Like, dude, it's like 18 tweets. I have to try to find it and I'll send it to you. But I was like, yo, this woman wants fucking attention because Trevor Bauer is going to drag her through the fucking fire over these tweets.
He's going to destroy that person. Like,
yeah, you don't Trevor Bauer on Twitter if you're not trying to get fucking attention.
Yeah, do not.
And I would never say that a woman is tweeting about an athlete to get attention, but when you're going that hard at the most notorious Twitter fingers person on earth, like, I
mean, this man made Kurt Schilling rage quit Twitter. Like, you don't go after Trevor Bauer unless you're looking for a fight. Like,
he made the fucking commissioner of baseball make a social media policy basically saying you can't have a fucking social media account.
Like, you can't market yourself. You can't do this. You can't do that. Like,
you can't even tweet and tag your fucking team in your tweets.
That's the craziest part.
And what blows my mind, how the fuck at the beginning of last season are you going to sit down with the MLBPA and say, hey guys, we have to grow the game. Y'all really need to market yourselves, put yourselves out there, and then turn around and tell them, hey, we're gonna fucking fine you if you market yourselves.
Yeah.
If you post a tweet with your team added in it, we're gonna fine you. Like,
we need you to dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't be happy that you're playing baseball. Don't make a name for yourself. Forget growing the game. That seems like it feels like that's what the front office wants to do, is just destroy the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been going on for a while, but okay. So obviously, and I agree with you. I feel like Trevor Bauer is the front runner. I feel like Max had a really strong case until the injury, and I feel like he could have made that case again.
Let's be honest. I don't even really think that was an injury with Max. I think that was a mental reset for Max. Like, dude, it is fucking hard to be that young and pitch the way you've been pitching and knowing that you have to fucking pitch like that because nobody else on your team at the time can. That's got to be fucking stressful. And
well, I mean, somebody was like, the back injuries the back injury is from carrying the entire pitching staff on your shoulders. Well, yeah, it was. That's absolutely
Yeah.
what you have to do. But I feel like that kind of pushes him out some, which is not fair because he's had an amazing year.
Yeah.
But I feel like he kind of drops out of the conversation on that note. And then coming out of the game again, just as a precaution, I mean, didn't get to see.
So I watched the Cubs Twins the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Matt Vasgersian and fucking A-Rod. And they put up a graphic on the screen talking about NL Cy Youngs. It was DeGrom, Yu Darvish, Trevor Bauer, and then some fuckstick dude from Milwaukee I've never even heard of. I mean, his stats were there that I saw, but I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, and then like an inning later, Vasgersian was like, oh, and in that NL Cy Young race, we failed to mention Max Fried. He's pitched good this year, and then that's all they said. I'm like, bro, fuck ESPN. They're a bunch of haters.
I hate it. And
I'm so mad that they didn't let fucking A-Rod. I understand why they didn't let A-Rod and J-Lo buy the fucking Mets, because they don't want A-Rod to have anything to do with baseball. The only reason A-Rod's around baseball right now is because ESPN hired him. But if he'd have bought the Mets, it'd have been a conflict of interest, and he wouldn't have been allowed to call baseball games.
And that would have made me real happy.
Yes.
Real happy. I hate listening to A-Rod call a game. I would listen to.
You want to hear me? You want to hear me get some hate? You want to get some hate in the comments real quick?
Let's do it.
Chipper Jones shouldn't be calling baseball games either, because he fucking sucks at it. He is horrible at it. He should go ahead and start getting ready for Snit to retire, because he will be the next manager of the Atlanta Braves. Calling it now.
I think it'd be great.
You know what a lot of people don't realize about Chipper Jones? Like, Chipper Jones wasn't just a great ball player, a great hitter, a great fielder. Chipper Jones has probably forgotten more about baseball than a lot of people are ever going to fucking know. He is a savant when it comes to baseball. And I think he'd be a brilliant man.
That's somebody that I would love to sit down and just say, teach me everything you know about this game.
Yeah.
Like, it would be amazing to hear just the wealth of knowledge that he has. But I don't think Chipper is the TV personality.
No.
Guys like John Smoltz, great.
Oh, Smoltz is great at it. Smoltz says some stupid ass shit during games that don't make any sense, but he's great at calling baseball games.
Yeah, he's absolutely. And Tom Glavine is really good at calling games too. I'd like to hear Greg Maddux.
Dude, Greg Maddux is fucking sitting on a golf course somewhere playing golf every day.
He does not. Greg Maddux doesn't care about anything.
Being rich, and every 5 years or so he'll do a 90s Braves reunion show on Fox News or Fox Sports, and that's all Greg Maddux does.
That's all he has.
I'll give you another update on a former Braves. Do you remember Kevin Millwood from the 90s that pitched with all those guys?
Yeah.
So Lakeview Academy is a school, and it's a private school, high school in Gainesville, the town I live in. Kevin Millwood is the pitching coach for their varsity baseball team.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
Since we're going to just talk about, so we brought up Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddux. So
let's just keep talking about people. Shelton
what the
Sellers
fuck is Steve Avery up to these days? This is another 90s Braves.
You know what? He was on that. Did you watch the YouTube thing with the 95 team?
No, I need to. Can you still go back and watch that?
Yeah, you can find it. It's good.
I need to go back and watch it. Yeah, I heard it was really good.
The best part of the whole thing is Ryan Klesko. They've got him down in the corner, and he's just chilling. And out of nowhere, he's got a parrot sitting on his shoulder.
What the fuck, dude? He was on some of the post game shows last year with Fox.
Yeah,
and I saw him like, dude, who the fuck is that? I've never seen this person in my life. Then like, that's Ryan. I was like, that's fucking Ryan Klesko. That doesn't even fucking look like what I remember him looking like when I was a kid. But
I see him now, and I'm like, he looks exactly the same to me.
Shelton said, let's let John Rocker call games. So if you listen to 92.9 The Game, it's one of the big sports stations in Atlanta. I don't know if they're still doing it, but used to, like, every Wednesday or Thursdays, they had the Rocker Report, and it was on the Dukes and Bell show, and John Rocker would come on for like 10, 15 minutes and talk about Braves baseball, and it was fucking hilarious every time he was on there.
Shelton also has a conspiracy theory that Alex Gordon isn't really going to retire, but instead become the random one-year front runner for dog shit money and go crazy.
I can see that.
I mean, anything can happen. At this point in time, I don't. Oh, look, you're not getting hate in the comments. Somebody agrees with you that Chipper is a terrible analyst.
Yeah,
Dean
he
agrees
is.
that Chipper's a terrible analyst.
Hey, he also said a few comments ago, if we can put it on the screen, that he'd been meaning to check us out for a while and that we were awesome. So I want to give him a shout out for finally checking us out and having a good time.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Okay, so we talked about NL Cy Young. Let's move over to the American League. Your normal contenders, Verlander's been out.
I don't even know what'd you just say? American League?
Yeah.
What is that? I don't know.
Those other people that play baseball.
It's so weird because I'm joking. I follow baseball to a T. But like if you're just a casual fan, like there's hardly any chance you're gonna see American League baseball other than the Yankees or the Red Sox.
Oh no, you're not. Never. Well, I mean, you might see the Astros.
Yeah, but nobody's watching the fucking Astros. They cheated. Nobody gives a fuck about them anymore.
George Springer hit a home run for me. I got some money off of him tonight.
Who's that? George Springer?
Yeah.
He can still hit?
Yeah, he can hit.
That's awesome.
He's hit a couple of them damn near.
All them dudes in the offseason are like, God damn, we got to get hitting coaches now because we don't know what
right?
the fuck we're doing. I don't know what's coming. Fuck.
They're tearing the Rangers up big time, or they were. I don't know. That game may be over now. I can't see the scores. But they were tearing the Rangers up. It was 10-0 in the 6th. So that was a good game going on. But, I mean, Garrett Cole has not had the year they thought he was going to have. Do we feel like he's in contention at all?
He's looked pretty good, except that game against the Braves. And
he ended up losing like 3 straight after that.
Was it 3? I knew it was 2 because I knew he got lit up in the game after the next time he pitched after the Braves.
Yeah, he lost the game against the Braves, and then
was it the Blue Jays?
He lost the next. Yeah,
I think it was the Blue Jays.
Either the next 2 or the next 3. I can't remember. But there for a little bit, people were kind of worrying about Garrett Cole. He seems to be back, but how do you make the case like Garrett Cole? Yes, the name is there.
Yeah.
But like you can't really argue against like Shane Bieber this year. That man.
I was about to say we haven't even talked about it, but there's no point in voting on the fucking AL Cy Young. That's Shane Bieber's award.
I feel like Shane Bieber, Lucas Giolito would be the only other one that I would put up there with him.
Who I'm almost that kid from the Cubs. There's been 2 no-hitters this year. Giolito's and that no-name dude that came out of nowhere and fucking threw a no-hitter.
Yeah, Mills.
He had never pitched above Double-A, I think, and got called up.
Alec Mills, there it is. Yeah, I was like, I know it's something Mills. I couldn't think of the first because I tweeted about it. I watched the end of that game, and it was so great. Yeah, it was an awesome story.
Sarah, have you seen this dude that's catching for the Blue Jays?
Is it the one that got caught in the parking lot?
I don't know about that. It's the dude that's like 5'3". Have you not seen the video of him sliding into home plate and jumping up, and he's like half the size of the catcher? Oh my God, his name's Alejandro.
Oh no, that's not the guy that I'm talking about. Then
what is this dude's name? Hold on, I'm looking it up. He's from Tijuana, Mexico, and has never played above single-A ball. And his first game with the Blue Jays hit a home run.
Oh, there you go. And
then there's a video of him sliding in. What's the Yankees catcher name? Gary Sanchez, isn't that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, this kid slides into Alejandro Kirk. That's his name.
Okay.
5'9". That's how tall he is. But there's a video of him like sliding into home, and he like jumps up as soon as he slides in and throws his hands up. And with his hands in the air, they're still not above Gary Sanchez's. Like, yeah. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, hey, the Astros game was still on. They just beat the Rangers 12-4. That game ended. That's not what people want to see if they want the Astros out of the postseason. Okay, let's talk MVP. Dansby's bad. Sorry, I looked at the phone and there's Dansby Swanson on my screen. MVP, we're going to talk about the American League first because I know we're both going to go on the same rant about the National League.
Why, about how Fernando Tatis should win it? I got you, didn't I?
I was like, I know that's not what you're really going to say. I didn't hear.
No.
I was like, did he say shouldn't or should? What
No,
what happened there?
pulling your chain.
No, so American League, like who are we looking at in the American League?
I'm just gonna be honest with you, like without ever watching an Angels game or an American League game, I just should assume that Mike Trout should win it every year. Like they
How
should
do you
just
not?
rename the American League MVP trophy to the Mike Trout
Mike
trophy.
Trout trophy until he retires.
No, not even when he retires. This should just be the Mike Trout trophy for now on. Especially if he stays with the Angels through his whole 12-year contract he just
Right.
signed.
Shelton, how are you going to say Aaron Judge? That man missed half the season with injury.
Yeah, I was about to say that motherfucker's calves are made of glass. I have a theory, like him and Stanton, they are so fucking big that they just can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen Judge and Stanton in a fucking batter's box? They don't look like they should be playing baseball.
No, I like Aaron Judge is like, if every time I see him, I just automatically assume he's like 7'3".
Yeah, that motherfucker should be a tight end in the NFL. Like,
Yeah, I don't feel like he looks like he's in the right place. Ooh, double for Dansby.
the funniest shit ever is that goddamn picture of Judge at
Oh no, that was Markakis. Never mind.
of that picture of Judge standing on second base against the Astros and Altuve standing next to him.
And they're like,
Altuve looks like a fucking chihuahua standing next to him.
that would like, I would love to. I want to meet Aaron. Have you ever seen the picture of him and the guy that played Ham Porter from The Sandlot?
Yeah.
That picture is hilarious. But I want to meet Aaron Judge just because I want to see what I look like next to him because I'm 5 foot nothing.
I was gonna say, aren't you like 4'6" or something like that?
It feels like it. I might as well be.
I can't say shit. I'm short too. I'm only 5'5", so
Shelton says Judge is a damn power forward. Inky says Judge is more injury prone than Gronk. He would play 2 games a season max.
yeah, there's a difference there, buddy. Gronk's won some championships.
But I mean, like outside of Aaron Judge, whoa, I just fucked that all up. Outside of Mike Trout, is there anybody that's really like standing out? Oh, Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ramirez with the what's the other dude? What's the dude on the Twins that's been killing it?
Max
I can't
Kepler.
remember. Yeah, Max Kepler. But no, Jose Ramirez or Mike Trout. I think that's really the only direction you go.
Bean Eater says Bieber for MVP as well. I have heard that argument.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with it at all.
Dude, he's been fucking lights out this year.
Shane Bieber is a killer on the mound.
Every time I hear his name, though, all I can think about is fucking Justin Bieber.
Did you see where somebody tweeted about Shane Bieber, but they tagged Justin Bieber instead?
No.
No, they didn't even tag Justin Bieber. They tweeted out Indians pitcher Justin Bieber and then went on with whatever they were saying. Because Carabas was the one that tagged Justin Bieber in it later on when he retweeted it. But yeah, somebody called Shane Bieber Justin Bieber. And I don't know how I'd feel about that if I were him.
No.
I don't think I'd be good with it. So let's move on to the one I know that we're probably both going to be real heated about if it doesn't go the way we think it should. I have finally in the last week started seeing people talk about Freddie Freeman for MVP that are not Braves fans.
I mean, honestly, I really think it should be Manny Machado, but I'm kidding.
Somebody put the numbers up.
Dude, if Freddie Freeman doesn't win the fucking National League MVP, this shit is goddamn rigged against Atlanta.
It is. Like, I feel like just because he's in Atlanta, he's going to get overlooked somehow. He's going to get robbed of this. I just know it's going to happen, and it pisses me off already because, like, when you can put Freddie Freeman next to anybody, he's first, second. Like, all of his numbers, he's in the top 2.
I read an article, it might have been earlier today or it was yesterday, that said that Freddie Freeman's sprint speed would be the reason why he didn't win the MVP. I'm like, bro, you do realize pitchers win the MVP, right? Like, just because you're not fast doesn't mean the motherfucker's having an otherworldly season.
Like, you don't. I mean, the man came back from COVID. We
He had
finally
106-degree fever 3 months ago.
Yeah. And you're gonna tell him no, this season isn't good
And
enough.
he's batting what? Like he's batting like 355 right now or something like that. 350.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. If he doesn't win it, it's bullshit.
Shelton asked how Yelich is playing this year.
He's not.
Not great.
He's looked like ass all year.
He has not looked like the MVP that we're used to seeing out of him. I mean, like, I know, like, you've got flashier guys. Like, Tatis is flashy. Machado is flashy. Mookie, like, you expect big things out of those people, but I just don't see how you overlook a guy who is performing the way he is under all the circumstances that he's been through. Like, I just don't think you can do it. I don't know. If Freddie Freeman doesn't win the MVP, I'm rioting. I'm done. I don't care anymore.
I'm with you. I'll go.
That's gonna be my non-peaceful protest is Freddie Freeman getting robbed of the MVP award this year. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything else about what you just said, but I agree.
Oh, let's see. What else do we have to talk about here?
I know what the National League's like. What's the seeding looking like in the American League right now?
In the American League, I can.
Are the Rays on top?
The Rays clinched the AL East.
I knew they. Yeah. Who's the number one seed in the American League?
The A's have the West. Let me look real quick. I moved stuff around on my phone today, and now I don't know where any of that.
Are the Twins and the White Sox still battling it out for the Central? Or
yes, they are. So while I'm pulling this up and kind of looking to see who's sitting where, last week we missed some news because we weren't here. We missed some news that I just want to talk about and say that I'm being punished. Pablo Sandoval is a Brave.
Yo, he's a fucking Brave. I completely fucking forgot about that until you just said the words Pablo Sandoval.
It's been sitting in my notes. I have my notes ready for last week, and then we didn't do the show. And so when I went to do the notes for this week, I was like, oh, I already have episode 12 notes. And my note for it is that fat fuck Pablo Sandoval is a Brave. That's why I put it in there.
I'm so confused. Like, he's at the alternate site, right?
I think so. He's on a minor league deal.
I think he won like 3 World Series though.
With the Giants. He got 2, I think. Yeah.
You get 2 or do you get 3?
I don't know.
They won in what? 10, 12, and 14. I think he was there for all 3.
He was with the Red Sox somewhere along that time and fucked them over. Okay, so in the American League, the Rays are definitely in, the A's are definitely in. Those are the only teams that have clinched. So the Rays have a 649 winning percentage. The A's have a 618. So I think you've got to rank the Rays first right now.
Yeah.
Because isn't that what they're going by is the winning percentage? Or did they change that again? Because they change everything.
It changes every fucking day. I can't keep up with it.
So the Twins are on top of the White Sox right now. We've got the Yankees have clinched a spot. They don't have a division title.
No, Sandoval won all 3 World Series with the Giants.
Oh, okay. So you've got, I can't read that. I'm blind. You got to give me shit that's like the size of our logo up there. I can't read anything.
What the
What are you saying?
I can't read that shit either.
Okay.
You don't see me the entire show going like this, leaning in to try to read our comment.
I hope not. Okay, so right now we've got the Rays are in the playoffs, the Yankees are in the playoffs, the Blue Jays, the Twins, the White Sox, the Indians, the A's. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Astros are sitting in second place in the West right now. The Angels are sitting in third place in the West. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at.
All right.
We'll see how that one shakes out. And then over in the National League,
I like that. I mean, we've been talking about the Braves this whole episode.
We absolutely have.
Braves and Rays, I mean, they won 2 down there. We won 2 up here. I like our chances.
I do too.
I thought you
on a neutral site, especially in the bubble situation. I don't feel bad about that. I don't feel bad about that at all. But over in the National League, I mean, right now you've got the Braves. The Cubs, Dodgers, Padres. The Marlins are in second. Cardinals and the Reds. The Cardinals and the Reds both have better winning percentages than the Marlins and the Giants. So
how are the Marlins in and the Phillies aren't? Don't the Phillies have a better win percentage?
no, the Phillies have a 491 winning percentage.
I thought it was higher for some reason.
The Phillies are only a half a game back from the Marlins right now.
Yeah.
The Marlins are looking to be a game over 500 if the Braves don't pull this one out, which they're losing right now. So
Yeah.
see what happens there.
Is it still 5-0 in that game or 4-0 in that game?
I think so. Last time I looked, it was still 4-0. Yeah, so we've got Pablo Sandoval is on a minor league deal with the Braves, and that is the kind of I must be just a really bad person that happened to me. That I talk all this shit about Pablo Sandoval, and all of a sudden he's on my team. Like, how the fuck?
Why? Wait, so why do you not like Pablo Sandoval?
I don't like what he did to the Red Sox. Like, I don't. He's a piece of shit.
Well, here's my thing. I don't give a flying fuck about the Red Sox. So I think Pablo Sandoval's fat. I think he's awesome.
I don't like
any dude that fucking fat that can still play baseball is awesome in my book.
I don't like Pablo Sandoval, and I didn't like. Somebody was like, "You don't like Pablo Sandoval because Carabas doesn't like Pablo Sandoval."
Yeah.
No, I don't like Pablo Sandoval because of what he did to the Red Sox before I even knew who Jared Carabas was. Yeah. But when I went back and saw the rant that he went on about Pablo Sandoval, I was like, I was golf clapping that shit. Like, I was so proud of him for that. It was beautiful. It was exactly how I felt about the guy. I loved it. So we'll move on from that. I don't want to talk about that fat guy anymore on this show. So
hey,
other things we missed. Matt Chapman with that, was it a hip injury? Matt Chapman out for the season. That's a big blow to the A's. I think. I feel like that hurts them in the playoffs, possibly.
Who's playing third base for them?
I don't even know. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I have no. There have been so many names pop up on my screen the last few days, and I have no clue who they are.
That's a huge. Fuck yeah, that's a huge loss. Offensively and mostly defensively, that's a huge loss for them.
That's going to be an issue for them moving forward.
I know Dallas Braden's been losing his fucking mind though the past week.
Oh yeah, I love how excited Dallas is, but Dallas gets excited about everything. So, did you hear about our oldest Chapman and his little accident on the mound?
No, that motherfucker's always doing something dumb. What did he do this time?
He pooped his pants on the mound.
No, the fuck he didn't. What do you mean? He shit himself?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. But they were interviewing Aaron Boone after the game. And this has been like, I intended to talk about this last week too. So this has been like in the previous week's news.
Wait, how in the fuck have I not heard about this?
I can't believe you didn't hear about this. I'll send you. I have the tweet bookmarked, but they were interviewing Aaron Boone, and they were like, when you went out to talk to Chapman, was he okay? What was he kind of giggling about out there? And Boone just loses it, like can't keep it together. He just keeps laughing and keeps laughing. He's like, yeah, he's okay. He's okay. And he's laughing through the whole thing. And they keep asking him like, what was going on? What was going on? What was going on? And he said, sometimes nature calls. And just losing his mind. Could not stop laughing about it.
He shit himself.
I will send you that so you can see the interview.
Yeah, so the last time we talked, I told you about the Bowers Bites with Amir Garrett. Did you go watch that?
I have not had any time to do it.
Yeah, you need to. It's fucking awesome. Hearing Amir Garrett tell that story is awesome.
I'm gonna have to. I love Amir Garrett. Did you see him on the mound the other night? Getting ready to throw the pitch, telling himself he's a bad motherfucker.
Did you see the whole fucking spat him and Portnoy got into together?
Yes.
And then Portnoy put the video together of when he was in Little League and hit the home run. And Amir Garrett was like, "All right, dude, yeah, you win. That was fucking funny." Like,
they're gonna face off.
Dude, Amir Garrett will light his ass up.
Oh yeah, like he faced off against Dallas Braden and it was hilarious.
I
But
can't wait to see Amir throw him 3 straight sliders that fall
Oh,
off the face of earth.
he's just gonna destroy him and it's gonna be hilarious. You know, and I like Portnoy, but I was sitting there reading that like, are you really doing this?
But you got to understand, Portnoy got exactly what he wanted out of that.
Oh yeah, of course he did.
He always does.
I mean, you have to, if you don't get what kind of personality Portnoy is at this point in time, like you should probably just get off Twitter. Because
dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, David Portnoy is fucking awesome. So have I told the story on here before about meeting Portnoy and everything?
No.
Okay, so
What?
Everybody knows how big the Georgia-Florida football game is.
Yeah.
By the way, fuck you, Shelton Sellers. Shelton's a fucking Florida Gators fan. Fuck so 2 years. So Portnoy, Big Cat, Casey, and Tommy Smokes to the college game, Barstool College. So they were at so ESPN Game Day and Barstool were at the Georgia-Florida game. And I was like, bro, fuck, I'm not walking all the way across the fucking, it's like a 2-mile walk to ESPN Game Day. I'm like, I'm not going over there. And Barstool's was like 2 blocks down from our tailgate. So this is at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when there starts. I started drinking at like 8 o'clock that morning. So I'm hammered. And as soon as they like go on the air, I scream. I'm like, fuck ESPN, like that. And Portnoy basically is like, yo, I don't know who just said fuck ESPN, but I like that guy. And I was like, yo, it was me, blah, blah, blah. But do you know Double Vodka Don that works for Barstool?
Yeah.
He comes over and is like, yo, open your mouth. I'm like, what? He's like, open your mouth. And like pulls out a bottle of Tito's, starts pouring it in my mouth. And then when the show ended, him and Big Cat came down and Portnoy was like, hey, you yelled fuck ESPN? I was like, yeah, dude, fuck ESPN. I was like, I'm not walking 2.5 fucking miles over there to where they're at when I can just come kick it with y'all. And he stood there and talked to me and my friend for like 20 minutes or so about the game that we were at, about Barstool and shit. He's fucking awesome. I mean, he's as nice as he could be. I mean, he's a dickhead. While he's talking to us, he's a dickhead, but kind of like me, a nice dickhead, if that makes sense. But no, he was cool as fuck.
He's got that attitude, but I love Portnoy. I think it's great. He knows exactly what buttons to push, and he does it every time.
I mean, you got to think about something. The man turned a fucking newspaper, a betting newspaper in Boston. So all he did was post gambling odds in a little fucking tiny ass little newspaper and handed it out at bars to what? A fucking $500 million company now? At
least.
It's fucking crazy.
It's a major accomplishment, that's for sure. I fully support Barstool Sports. I think the highlight of my life so far has been getting retweeted by KFC last week.
If anybody from Barstool is watching this, feel free to hit up me and Sarah.
Send me a message. Come on the show. Let's do this. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. Kent's over in the private chat. I got Kent hooked on the pizza.
All right. So because I travel so much, if you don't have the One Bite app on your phone, and if you don't really travel,
I do. Anywhere, I don't travel anywhere, but I still have the One Bite app.
So I have it, and it's fucking awesome because no matter where I'm at, I can go in there and see every pizza place around me. And it's fucking, I have found some killer ass pizza places from using that app.
Yes, Kent, there is an app, the One Bite app. Go look it up.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And then you can like do your own reviews on there. I've got like 18 reviews on there from like all different states and shit that I've ate pizza. And I really use it as a way for me to remember all the places I've ate pizza.
I should try to get him to come to. We have a little pizza place here in like the town that's 6 miles away from me. And it's fucking awesome. Like it's some really good. I should send him a message. That's a good idea. Put that in my to-do list of things that I'll probably never get around to because I forget everything. So last little bit of stuff to talk about tonight. They're looking at letting fans in for the NLCS and the World Series. Now, they're not looking at the ALCS because California won't allow it, but Texas don't give a fuck.
No,
so,
I'm going.
I'm 7 hours away.
I already told Brittany. I talked to Brittany about it, and I was like, listen, I got a fucking ass ton of Sky Miles and everything. If I'm not working, I'm in the Braves or in the NLCS, I'm going to a game.
I would drive down and just to tailgate. Even if I couldn't go in, I'd go tailgate. I would take the weekend and do that.
I'll meet you there.
Let's do it. It'll be a
The
good time.
fuck? We can do a damn easy out podcast from the parking lot.
Hey, the tailgate for the NL,
Yeah.
that would be a glorious episode.
Oh yeah,
I don't know that anybody would be able to understand me about halfway through it, but I think we'd have a good time with that.
So basically, you would sound like me at the end of all our shows when I first started being your co-host.
Pretty much. When
I
we
got
get right down
wickety wrecked on a few of these shows. This is fun.
I think
The worst one was when Brittany went out of town and I got fucking
when you
trashed.
when you drank like 20 beers before the show.
Yeah, and it took an hour and a half nap and was still hammered when I had a good time. That was a fun show though.
It was fun. That's the only one where towards the end of the show I was kind of like, what the hell did he just say?
Yeah, I was like mumbling and shit. That was. I went back and listened to it, and I got about 10 minutes in. I was like, I can't listen to this. I can just,
I don't want to hear anymore.
no.
I don't want to know.
I was so afraid that I had said something so dumb that I just didn't want to hear myself say it.
I don't really remember anything that bad coming up.
Hey, you'll be you know how many beers I've drank tonight during the show?
Well, you still had 9 when Michael left, and I haven't drank that much.
I've drank 3 beers.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, if we were doing this show tomorrow night, I would have alcohol, but I don't have any tonight. So, that happens. Shelton says, at least you didn't fall asleep in a parking deck and lose all your friends after tailgating.
Okay, so I was at that tailgate. That's a funny story.
He says, you know what I mean, Cape.
Yep.
We'll have to get that backstory sometime. Maybe we'll have Shelton on and talk to us sometime. Give us the story on all that.
Me and Shelton went to jail together. Yeah, we should have Shelton on one day. Yeah, me and Shelton got some fucking stories.
We're gonna get all the tea on
Shelton went to jail because I hope Shelton doesn't mind. All right, me and another guy. I won't say it's Shelton in case he doesn't want me to tell the story. Sorry, Shelton, I'm gonna tell it anyways. We went and ate at a Huddle House in this fucking buttfuck little town in Georgia. It's called Helen. Looks like a little German town. And we forgot to pay. Like, we went out and smoked a cigarette, just got in the car and left, right? Dude, they fucking had a roadblock in the next town over waiting on us to get there. And we went to jail. It's a funny story.
That would happen to you. That would totally happen to you.
But I told the cop, I'm like, bro, I just forgot to pay. I mean, I'll go back and pay right now. He's like, nah, you're going to jail. God damn it. And then my fucking Shelton's girlfriend came and got him out of jail. We were in there like 8 hours. She came and got him. My mom left me in there till Sunday and came and visited me in jail to ask me what happened. And I told her what happened. And she came and got me out like an hour after that. I'm like, bro, you left me in here for 5 fucking days.
No, that's funny. That's funny stuff. So let's see. We're running in about an hour and 45. Probably a good time to cut it, don't you think?
Yeah, this was a great episode. I had fun with Michael. Michael was awesome.
Yeah, we definitely want to thank Michael Kelly Jr. for coming on the show with us. The Coney, it's Sunday and Monday night on Showtime. So make sure you catch that. He said,
if you haven't watched his other shit, go watch House of Cards, Jack Ryan, Generation Kill. Everything he's been in has been great.
Michael's an amazing actor. We love having him as part of Braves Country. Very thankful to him, and we definitely would love to have him back on if the Braves make it past the division. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Celebrate whatever's going on at the time with Michael. Also, want to give you guys one more reminder, and I will be telling you over the next few weeks. You'll probably see me popping up with videos on Twitter and stuff like that to let you know we are transitioning away from Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook right now, go over to Twitch and follow us there. You can find us at Easy Out Podcast. So you want to follow us on there, or you want to follow us on Twitter so you can watch us on Periscope. Facebook is just not doing it for us. It's almost like they don't want people to go live unless you're just going live from your phone. So we're going to start making that transition. We love all of you. if you're watching. Twitch.tv Easy Out Podcast will be the best place to watch us on. You can also, like I said, you can check us out on Twitter, on Periscope too. We're not going to be leaving that platform. Inky, we will send you the link. Like I said, we're not leaving the platform over on Twitter. We're keeping Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You'll still be able to watch us on there as well. Make sure you go over. Last night, Cape had on his Never Quit with Snitch shirts. We've got the Never Quit with Snitch shirts. We've got the In Marcakis We Trust shirts, and we've got the Dan's VP shirts. Dansby's heating back up. So go pick you up a shirt. We've also got the Easy Out shirts if you just want to show us some love and support the logo. We do have the shirts. We've got long sleeves. We've got short sleeves. We've got hoodies. So go over to easy-out-podcast.myshopify.com and check out the merch. Everybody can see you in the comments, Inky. I'm not publicizing you. Anyways, there's the Shopify. The Patreon is up at the top of the screen. Patreon.com/easyoutpodcast. Make sure if you like what we're doing, we would love for you to show us some support. We have a lot of exclusive gifts for you over on that side. Once again, we're brought to you by Back Home Media. Make sure you check out our other shows on Back Home Media. The Sprout and Dusty Show. Cape was a guest on there last night. Those guys are great. We've got
highly recommend that show. They're awesome.
They are a lot of fun to watch. You guys will not be disappointed by Sprout and Dusty at all. In the Free Zone with Norm, that is a Kansas sports in general, Kansas high school sports show. A lot of fun. Norm's a smart guy. He's a real fun guy. He was my high school English teacher. Love the guy to pieces. A lot of respect for that man. Very knowledgeable. It's a good, informative show. Even if you're not in Kansas, still get a lot of great information out of it. Who else we got? Growing Garden City. We have the Parentless Podcast. We have Something's Wrong, hosted by our friend Erin. She was on the show a few weeks ago. Make sure you check that out as well.
I've been on that podcast as well.
Yep,
So.
Dave's been on that one too. The Derek Rutherford Show is making a comeback. It will be exclusively on Twitch. You can find all of these shows on the Back Home Media Twitch channel. You can find them all on Periscope and Twitter as well. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Once again, thank you to Michael Kelly. Meaghan, I know you had something happen, and I'm so sad that you didn't make it back with us. I hope we can salvage your birthday in some way, shape, or form. We love you very much.
Love you, Meaghan. Happy birthday.
Absolutely. You guys, Derek, take us out of here. Let's roll that music.
Fucking roll it. See you guys.
Good night.
Well,
I don't think it, I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought in a person, the way that I talk and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the fault can be placed on my arm, to this playful assault, to disgrace in its arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death or water, left with all the thorns, with the petals gone, settle on the breath of autumn. If the ground